Oh man, you heard him. That's music from Kool Moe Dee, the legendary hip hop king. I'm telling you, the lines have been lighting up for hours. People been waiting for Kool Moe Dee to hit the airways. I'll tell you, you guys, you're in tune to Recording Artist Avenue all over the world. On the lines now, I got the king himself, Mr. Kool Moe Dee. How you doing, Kool?
Yes, y'all. Very cool, very cool.
You're doing very cool. Oh wow! People was like, where is he? What city? What state is he in?
I'm all out back and forth from New York and Los Angeles. Right now I'm in Atlanta. Yeah, so back and forth, same triple state residency, moving around, keep moving.
Man, how does it be to be one of the legends of hip hop? Can you remember day one when this all started?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us about
absolutely.
It. Tell us about day one.
The difference with my day one is I keep telling people I'm triple OG. My old school is before we made records, and before the solo career, I was in a group called Treacherous 3. So we got like you talking 1977, 78.
Right.
When I'm at Waterbarn watching Grandmaster Flash premiere and finally do the backspin in front of everybody. And we got it so hot on the streets that Sugar Hill wound up recording and making a record with Sugar Hill Gang, and then that turned it into a business, and then we had an industry. We knew nothing about the industry because we were just rhyming in the parks and doing routines or whatever. And once it turned into a business, and then Curtis Blow, they started handpicking us out of the hood, so to speak.
Okay.
Curtis Blow was, Spoonie G was the second one.
Spoonie G,
was the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in our group. By the way, we were waiting at practice for him to come back. And
really?
He came back to practice. Yeah, he missed the practice and he came late. I said, what happened to you? Where was you at? He put the record on. 1 for the treble, 2 false time.
Oh,
like,
wow.
What? He missed practice and went and made a record. So that's how his career started.
Right.
We played for a brother named Special K and became the Treacherous 3 and made hit records for that way back in 1981.
Wow.
So, yeah. And the unfortunate thing at that time, we weren't really making money. We had records on the radio, and a little bit hit records because they didn't play radio in the daytime. I know people can't imagine this now.
Right.
They did not play hip hop on the radio back in those days.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. And finally, the guys got disturbed about not making money and discouraged. So they one of the guys, I won't say his name, but I'll say his name, L.A. Sunshine, was like, nope, I'm going to wind up killing her, so I'm not going to keep making records and not getting money, and then wind up going to jail because I'm going to pay my money. So
right.
At the end of the day, I was a junkie in the bunch. I was like, I got like 15,000 rhymes. There's no way I'm stopping. So
right.
I just kept going, and because they stopped, I tell people I didn't go solo. I was left and had nothing to resort to being solo.
Right.
And then I went off to college. I was doing my thing in college and doing around. I ain't gonna give it a whole story. That'll come out in the movie and the book.
Okay.
But circumstances led me to the doctor's office, and I wrote a record called "Go See the Doctor" in the doctor's office.
You did write a record. I loved that record, boy, because it talked about some stuff. It really did. Yeah. So, that beat right there.
Go See the Doctor.
Yeah.
And that's what changed the course of my history right there in 1986.
Oh man, that was it. Well, a lot of people, my media rep is a man in the phones, and she said, it's like, ask him how did he get his outfits back in the day. He used to have some real cool clothes.
Oh, I had in my mind, just for record, I was looking at like Michael Jackson, Prince, and then me. I was third on the list.
You were third?
So, yeah, it was Michael Jackson, Prince, and then me. So I said I could not just come out like everybody else. I needed to have my own style. I wanted to do my own thing, got my stuff made or whatever. And it was a designer by the name of Barbara Bates in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember Barbara Bates, yeah.
Yeah, there's a store we used to shop at in New York called A.J. Lester. Some of the stuff that I saw that I did like that I picked out that nobody else would pick out because I was very loud in my color choices. I had no problem wearing bright yellow or lime green or any of that stuff. I love white, and a lot of others like to keep it dark and, burgundy, gray. I was like, no. I'm not trying to fit in. I'm trying to stand out. So Went to the store and found out who the designer was, who was making the stuff. Called her up. She started making it personally for me.
Wow.
And that point, I get my stuff made.
So how many years has it been for you, Kool?
For a cent.
Huh?
How many years has it been for you since what?
Since you started singing, rhyming.
Well, technically, I would say 42 years, but we celebrate my 40th year anniversary. I'm doing a 40-year anniversary tour this summer.
Oh, man.
It's my first record. I made my first record in March of 1980.
Wow. You coming to Chicago on that tour? You going to hit Chicago?
Oh, definitely. I got to be honest. Chicago, out of all the cities I've been to, Chicago was the one that, at least when How You Like Me Now hit,
right.
Chicago was the one that made me feel like I was Michael Jackson. That was the one that, because what I didn't know at the time is because Chicago had that stepping crowd.
Right.
I remember one of the brothers, I'm talking about an OG type brother, pulled me to the side and said they didn't really like hip hop, or they really didn't really get it back at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They said, you stand out for us because you dress up.
Right.
We like to dress. We like to get dressed. We like to dance as ladies, and we got this thing called stepping.
Mm-hmm.
So when R. Kelly put "Step in the Name of Love" out back in the day, I was like, this is what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Chicago had the stepper thing.
Wow.
So they said, "How You Like Me Now" is right in zone for the stepper thing. So I stood out in Chicago, among other places, very, very well.
Okay. Well, when you come, you got the support of all of our radio stations. We have a network here, and we'll come out and support you whatever you need. You'll be right at home when you come here. My media girl she says the people are just like going crazy. They want to know, do you tour with some of your other hip hop brothers nowadays?
Yeah, that's like a family reunion. We just did the big Martin Luther King Day thing at in Atlantic City. It was KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Eric B. and Raa Jan, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, Chubb Rock, Moni Love, Special Ed, Kwame. We had everybody. It was a big show. Very, very successful. Sugar Hill Gang and the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Or should I say the Furious Five?
Oh man, y'all shut it down then.
Yes. The problem, unfortunately, is rock and hard places. Because I would say that our old school story from our era is the same story. Mm-hmm. Our people didn't support it. Black people didn't believe in it, and white people didn't think it was.
Yep.
So when white America don't think they can make money on it, and black people don't like it on a taste level, then you get caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
So it's very, very hard for promoters to really understand what kind of business we could do especially if you put all of us together. I know what it is because I stand the fandom.
Right.
So, and I say again, our people are old school, our fans are old school, we're not the only ones getting older. Stop trying to hit our people, our fans, stop trying to hit them in the head for $125 and $200 for a ticket. No.
Yeah.
A $200 ticket is a $400 date if you want to take a date.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And the date gonna want something to eat.
Absolutely. That's before you got your hair did and any food or parking.
Right.
So it's like you talking about a $500 night. I love me, but I ain't spending $100 to see me, to be honest. I love me.
Right.
Can't love me more than I love me, but I would not spend $100 to see me. So I'm like, no, bring that ticket price down. Come down to like $50, $40. Right.
What's the favorite? What's the favorite one of your cuts that you made? Because people are asking, what's his favorite song that he made?
My personal favorite is "I Go to Work."
Really? Okay.
Yeah, the biggest record of them. Wild Wild West was the biggest record.
Okay.
But my first favorite was "Go to Work" because that was after Wild Wild West. Okay. I got established. I should say, Go See the Doctor introduced me. Mm-hmm. How You Like Me Now kind of broke me into solidifying me with Black America, and Wild Wild West took it over the top. And that was the time that white America couldn't deny that I could sell records or sell out house seats. And after going through Go See the Doctor, How You Like Me Now, and Go to Work, I'm now Wild Wild West. I was able to relax and do something I wanted to do, and
Okay.
I wanted people to know how lyrical I could be, and I did it on a dance record because I didn't want to take a chance with people not dancing.
Right,
So
right.
go to work became this like aerobics anthem. People
Right.
who a lot of people to this day tell me they play that record and get them up and go to work for real.
Right.
That, that,
Well, a
yeah,
lot of the callers hitting up Mo D want to know what do you think about these hip hop and rap artists today?
I'm not as hard on them as a lot of my peers because I understand that, unfortunately, and that this is where I start to get in trouble because they find out I'm not the quiet, go along to get along black man, and I'm
Right.
very, very outspoken and very, very not really controversial, but they'll label it controversial because I don't go along with the mainstream thought. I'm like, once they started changing the frequency, it's like, what do you mean changing the frequency? We not writing those records. It's not about them writing the records. If we made records that were talking about anything anti-Semitic, you would never
Right.
see the record ever hear light of day. But as long as we're talking about killing each other, we'll get that all over the
Oh
air.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
when I say they started to change the frequency, I tell people again, the turning point that most people don't really realize is having right in front of their faces. Spike Lee tapped Public Enemy to be the lead song in his Do the Right Thing movie.
That's right.
Uh, Fight the Power. And Fight
Mhm.
the Power is blind. Elvis was a hero the most that he never met. To me, he's straight up sucker with simple and plain. Mother FMN John Wayne. When they
Right.
did that, they shot that video in Brooklyn and they had the picket signs out there. People hadn't heard the record. But when everybody on the block heard that record, they erupted
Yeah.
and they were going crazy. I say white America saw that and saw the reaction about black America and they saw the momentum happening because we went from just partying and having a good time and we started getting social, political, and black consciousness started elevating. And we went immediately from not playing rap on the radio and Public
Right.
Enemy being an underground group to
Mhm.
playing gangster rap on the radio
Right.
and editing the curses out.
Oh yeah.
Now,
You got it.
and what I say again, that's the suckers move was they pit us against the East Coast against the West
Right.
Coast.
Right.
And we were never against the West Coast. We were just saying again, if you're going to put that on mainstream and make that kind of music the mainstream music, you're setting us up killing each other.
Oh yeah.
Because I tell people all day, Snoop Dogg is one of our favorite artists. Ice Cube, easily one of our favorite artists, but they never intended on being mainstream superstars.
Right.
That
Right.
was that was pop America of cultures, white America's counterattack to Public Enemy. Instead of giving you this consciousness, we're going to give you gangsta and make that the most popular record of music. So what happened is people all over the country started to follow gangsta and started to emulate gangsta, and then
Right.
that's when you started seeing things on HBO like Banging in Little Rock. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, the gang violence started popping up in other areas that had nothing to do with gangs and it became
Wow.
and I said to we have to be paying attention. It became fashionable for us to kill each other, and
Absolutely.
what you started saying, keep it real, and what was supposed to be real was only killing each other, and anything that was conscious or positive was never looked at like it was really true or factual or powerful.
Well, we got another question from a caller over in Jackson, Mississippi. They wanted to know about what did they say? Ask him about Beat Street the movie.
Yeah, that was back when I said 1984. I was in
Okay.
Treacherous 3 at the time,
Okay.
and the unknown secret about that movie, most people don't know that was supposed to be a movie about the Treacherous 3.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
and as usual,
Was
Hollywood gets involved.
was Dougie
White
Fresh in it?
America. Yes, he was. He
Okay.
was a guest. A
Okay.
guest in the thing. The
Okay.
movie was supposed to be about us, and we wound up getting a little small scene within the movie because
What?
Hollywood didn't think that hip hop artists could carry a movie, and they didn't want to do a movie about hip hop artists. So they made it about hip hop, and then they hired Guy Davis, which is Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee's son,
Yeah.
and a couple of other actors, and made this very, very mainstream kind of fluff story about
Hmm.
their version that had nothing to do with what we were talking about. So
Wow.
that was my first introduction to the politics of Hollywood and what they think about us and how they're going to retell our stories.
Wow. Do you have a special DJ you travel with?
Most of the time, it's my DJ Easy Lee. and a lot of times they use Grandmaster Caz and the Cold Press Brothers.
Oh wow. Oh wow. We got a
And
lot of
also,
people on the line from
and
the
also,
Bronx
Def Jam.
too.
Yeah, also I have Def Jeff also from California. So I
Okay.
keep it well rounded.
Do you do a lot of MC just off the top of your head now?
No, I've got at least 100 records that people haven't heard that didn't get released when I was should I say breaking down with my company at the time. I was on Jive Records back in the day,
Right,
and
right.
because I wasn't again the quiet, shut up, go along artist. You
Mhm.
couldn't just pay me enough to be quiet. And my thing was, I didn't like what I saw. If you're a black artist, you got this kind of budget. If you're a white pop artist, you got this kind of budget. And from the door. So
Right,
they
right.
told you in the beginning what they were setting up and what they were planning on doing. So they never believed in black America the same way they did in quote unquote inspired America. And this is from an industry standpoint.
Wow. It's good to know that all you've been through, it didn't make you bitter. You still love what you do and you do it well. Um,
Yeah, no, I tell people I'm the old school black. I haven't gotten over the middle passage. So I stay in touch with slavery. I stay in touch with our stories. I was glad they did Tubman, even though I didn't like the Harry Tubman movie. But I
right.
know the story, so I understood what it is. And because I have ancestors and people connected to me that
Hmm.
lived through the stuff that they try to commercialize or whatever, I'm like,
Right.
I haven't forgotten. You can't give me enough money for me to feel good about all of the stuff that you've done to us. So,
Wow.
I remember being a little kid watching Roots. I'm going to school the next day. I want to shoot my white teachers. I'm furious. So
Right,
I,
right.
it's like I just lived it. So
You connected
I
with
don't
it. You connected. Yeah.
absolutely,
Hmm.
and it resonates with me because, like I said, I have grandparents who are like a step away from slavery or freed, but not really free because they still had what the police would do back then is round up black people and take them back to their slave masters, especially in the South. And that's how
Right.
most of us ended up north in New York and Philadelphia because we migrated from the South because we thought it would be a lot better.
Well, how is music? Yeah, how they always talk about music from the Bronx. We got a lot of people on the line. How was the hip hop days of the Bronx? How does that play into your music? They
Well,
had,
that's the very begin for us. That's the very beginning of what stylized the what we now call hip hop because we've had this rap music like this on the planet
right,
since the 30s. It was just called the gospel quartet. If you Google it, you can look it up. You see the gospel quartet. They were
right.
doing what we were doing, but it was never mainstream. And quite frankly, when this started in the 70s, our parents didn't embrace it because they didn't think it was really music. They
Oh
literally,
wow.
I literally heard, I can't even say how many. I literally heard parents of the popular artists say, "Who in the heck is going to ever pay to hear you talk over a record that already came out without a band and a DJ scratching? That makes no sense."
Wow.
So
Yeah.
they didn't believe in it. But like I said, that's the catch-22. I come from the generation that was never believed in. We weren't
Okay.
supported by our own people, and we daggone sure weren't embraced by white America. So what
Wow.
happened? We were in this little nebulous space, and then it hit a little. You got a little bit of a jump when Grandmaster Flash did the message,
Right.
and
Right.
then it really, really took form when Run DMC finally did Walk His Way with Aerosmith. And
Yeah.
again, once you invited white America in that way, kids, mainstream American children, loved Run DMC because they became a phenomenon for mixing rock and hip hop, and that was the way that they could swallow it. And then
Right.
once everybody saw it was the way to make money, then the floodgates opened. And we had a very, very quick period where it was really original and fresh because all the stuff was happening, but nobody knew what to make of it. And by the time we got to the 90s, they understood what we were doing, and that's what I meant
Right.
when I said they changed the frequency. You couldn't predict that Public Enemy would do what they did. When they became what they became, you couldn't predict it was going to turn into that. So
Hmm.
that the counterattack was, well, let's give them gangster. If they're going to pull out guns and shoot each other, let them shoot each other, but not shoot us. So we don't want radical black men or black women
Right.
angry at us. Let them be mad at each other.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out to give us a call here. The lines are just, people are like, they need more people like you to speak about things. We're having a big music seminar. I'd love for you to come and talk to the brand new independent recording artists if we can work it out. Because your knowledge is deep. The people are, they're hitting Instagram like crazy. It's like, man, this guy is deep. You know, it's good to know that artists can do more than sing. You're aware of what's going on in the world.
Right. Right. Great. Great. Well, so all you got to do, you just call me, tell me what it is. We try to set up something to work it out. I'd love to be out there without question.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Kool Moe Dee on the radio. Keep it locked to the station. We always